Hello and welcome to supernaturalspirit.org. I'm St. Nicholas and this is part of the Tim Tony Stark network of videos, MP3s and texts on anti-aging. So what we'll do today is I'll start with introducing the format, what we're going through, and then we're gonna go through our special edition. So we're gonna have a longer episode. So today's episode is on anti-aging and health techniques. We're going to start with a celebrity introduction because everyone likes celebrities, and then we're going to go into an article that was in the Daily Mail on Monday, the January 13th, 2020, written by Alice Hart-Davis, where she's done some health things to herself, some health techniques to herself, and then explained her journey. So that's all really good, and I think you'll find it very interesting. So let's kick off with celebrities and celebrity health. So let's start with celebrity and celebrity lifestyle and celebrity health. One of the most famous celebrities who has a very important show coming up is Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez doing the Super Bowl halftime show, 2nd of February 2020. Oh, yeah, absolutely fine. No problem, thanks. Doing the Super Bowl halftime show, which is great. Now, Jennifer Lopez, she knows how to stay in shape. She's independently wealthy. She can get any health treatment she wishes. Money's not an issue. And she knows how to stay in shape, being a dancer and a singer, and she's in phenomenal shape as we speak, ready to do the halftime show at the Super Bowl. So I mentioned this because Jennifer Lopez's ring is worth $4.5 million reportedly. So clearly, money's no object to stay in shape, and she certainly has the willpower desire to be in phenomenal shape. It's part of the business, right? And she certainly enjoys it. So, but let's bring this down to non-celebrities, more normal people with a certain level of means, where the quest for being healthy is still very important, but because you can't buy every single treatment out there, you want to measure up pros and cons and select the treatments which are best for you. And that's how most people go about it. Now, you can go down the road of understanding the science, which is certainly the way that Tim Tony Stark Rifat goes about doing anti-aging. He wants to read the books, completely understand it from his perspective and his angle, which is hardcore physics. So he'll go and he'll read about books like David Sinclair, his book Lifespan, which just came out. He'll read books like Bruce Lipton's book on the biology of belief, and they're going to go into various angles of the latest science. But for the average consumer, they're not so interested in the science, they're just interested in results. I've been to several of the largest beauty shows in the United Kingdom over the years. You talk to the technicians, and what people want is they want to walk in, they want a treatment, and they want to walk out being able to see a result. That's the culture we live in, thanks to social medias and Instagrams. Fair enough. So what we can provide at supernaturalspirit.org is the anti-aging crystals and the techniques to rejuvenate yourself. And we do all these videos about this topic. Now, if we look at the Daily Mail, and Alice Hart-Davis has written a really good article on her experiences on, staying young. And in fact, she's got a whole business, the name of which is, she's written a book as well, but yeah, the weakest, this is it, the Tweakment's Guide, So she's all about tweakments, non-surgical improvements to the body. And we're going to get into this article now. And I like her. She does a lot like we do here, little mini videos on different topics to help people discover non-surgical methods for improving one's health. Okay. So now we're going to get into our article. As you can see, put it up, put it in frame a bit. This is anti-aging expert Alice Hart-Davis, 56, braves a terrifying new stem cell treatment that promises to turn back the clock forever. But would you spend £7,000 to regrow your face with your thigh fat? This is the question which has been posed by Alice, and she goes through her experience. So we're going to use this and work in conjunction with her article and explain other ways that one could potentially be using non-surgical methods to improve one's health. So I'll start. When my eyes blinked open in the quiet of the operating theater at the Kogan Clinic in Chelsea, I felt supremely relaxed. It took a while as the clouds of anesthesia began to clear and the strange stiffness in my face became more apparent, to remember where I was and what I'd been doing. Oh yes, you volunteered to be a guinea pig for a cutting-edge facial regeneration procedure. Okay, well, she's a woman of her convictions, and she does procedures and then explains them to her clients and in the newspaper. So I'm very pleased because we get to use this. You've just had fat sucked out of your thighs, mined for its stem cells, then injected back into your face by a world-class plastic surgeon, and the procedure has been live-streamed to a conference audience of surgeons around the world. Oh goodness. After 20 years of reporting on beauty and treatments, I'm used to putting myself out there. I have tried most non-surgical procedures. I've written a book about treatments and now spend my time talking about them on social media and conferences. Yeah, that's what we discussed. But this was on a new level for sure. Anything that involves a general anesthetic is hardly a treatment, even if there are no scalpels involved. So why have I done this? Well, if there was one procedure I've been mad to try for years, it was a stem cell assisted fat transfer process known as SVF facial rejuvenation, a technique that appears to regrow an aging face from the inside out. Okay, so what are we doing at supernaturalspirit.org with the anti-aging technology? We are using our crystals to engage with our quantum wave function to regenerate and regenerate ourselves from the inside out, and we are eliminating bad cells from the inside out, right? All with our crystal set, without having to do general anesthetic. So, continuing. It sounds like science fiction, but actually, it's a part of the fast developing specialty called regenerative medicine, where surgeons use your body's own natural resources, fat, stem cells, blood, palate-rich plasma, and so on, to repair everything from heart defects to orthopedic problems and thinning hair. Now, cosmetic medicine is getting into the act. Stem cells, the body's healing resources, are capable of becoming any tissue into which they are injected. This is what makes them so exciting for medical research. We tend to think of them as being found in bone marrow or umbilical cords, which they are, but they are found lying dormant, waiting for action in fat cells. Suck out the fat from the body and then extract from the fat a kind of concentrated stem cell soup known as stromal vascular fraction, SVF. And you're left with a SVF smoothie to do with as you wish. So not many surgeons in the UK do this stem cell work, but the more I spoke to, the more I was fascinated. I became more I was fascinated by its potential. I went on the consultation with one of the technique's leading proponents, but lacked the 10,000 pounds needed to have the procedure. Fair enough. Then last year I interviewed Mr. Tunic Tiraki, a plastic surgeon from Istanbul with a passion for regenerative medicine, who had joined the roster of elite surgeons at Cadigan Clinic, a private hospital in London, which has been pioneering this specialty. So for him, regenerative medicine is the future. With facial aging, until now, we were just patching up the problem. He says, now we are fixing it by addressing every aspect of aging. Okay. The problem with aging, with the aging face, he explains, is that inside everything is shrinking. We lose bone mass from our skull as well as fat from the face. That is why the skin becomes slack. It's like an old dress that hangs loose when you have lost weight. Okay, that's good to know. Having a facelift just tightens the slack skin over the shrunken frame. Using injectable filler lifts the tissue from within. But the gel-based fillers just hold water for a number of months and then are gradually dispersed. So simply filling up, and then you get lovely, lovely skin, but then it's dissolving over time with these fillers, like lip filler and all those things. But if you mix a stem cell rich SPF with fat and inject that, you can create long-lasting results. Seeing before and after pictures of his work left me intrigued. The faces all look good, greatly improved, yet natural. Which, I agree with her. That's what you want. You want an improved, natural look. Okay, so you can see she's had numerous things done with this single procedure. She's addressed the temple, the cheeks, the lips, the neckline and décolletage, the nose, the skin, the brow bone, the cheekbone, the jawbone, the chin, and the jawline. So with this single procedure, she has done quite a few things all at once. She continues to speak with the surgeon we were discussing, and comes up, there's a show coming up, and they would like to offer her the chance to have the procedure taken care of as part of this this clinic and this live stream. So she's keen to do that, and we're going to go through the things that she discusses and the processes you go through before you actually go through your procedure. So she says, she asks, was I a good candidate? Yes. What would he do to my face, which was at 56 is beginning to show its age despite all the treatments I've tried? First, he would tackle the depletion of bony arches across the brow, across the cheeks, and around the jaw. By injecting fat mixed with SPF right down to the bone to rebuild more youthful dimensions. Next, he would use the mixture to deal with lost volume in the soft tissues, rebuilding the fat pads in my cheeks that have withered with age, and softening the hollows in the temples. Finally, he would use the microneedling roller to sink a dose of SPF mixed with hyaluronic acid into the face of the skin to regenerate and recondition the outer layers. Wow, he was basically stimulating regrowth of the bone and fat within my face. Yes, exactly. And you can do that with your Psychotronic Crystal generators from your complete healing Psychotronic Generator set. Continuing, well, not quite, but I can compensate for the volume loss on the bone. By scratching the bone with the tip of the needle, I am creating a controlled wound on the bone that the body should heal, which will slow down the aging process. And Tim talked about that, didn't he? He says you're doing strong exercise to break down the muscles in your body and put your body under stress, which then kickstarts and activates the healing process. So that's what they're doing with the needle scratching of the bone and the tissue underneath. And how much of her own fat cells would she need to do this? Probably about 30 cc, about 2 tablespoons for the padding part, and 120 cc's, about 8 tablespoons, from which to extract the concentrate of stem cells into the magic SPF. So that's fine. She went home to think it over, and she decided to do the procedure. So we're going to move to that part. And in fact, over a couple of weeks, she's continuing to think about this process, and they're working on it. So you see, with the crystals, you get your crystal set, you straight away start working on yourself and improving your body. There's no thinking, consultations, there's no none of this preparation required that you need to do in traditional approaches to treatments, for example, or invasive surgeries. So the preparation isn't necessary. What you're doing is straight away working on your body through the crystal set, which is a far more pleasant experience. And remember, this isn't, we're not necessarily saying these things about Alice. We're just using Alice's expose as a mechanism for describing the procedure that both men and women go through on their search for being young and beautiful when they choose to use options like treatments or options like surgery. So we're just talking about the way the system operates at the moment for people to get enhancements if they don't know about or choose to use psychotronic generators to improve their health. So let's get to the bit where she's actually had the surgery done. Probably. So later, awake again, I wasn't in a hurry to see what my face looked like, but when I eventually shuffled to the bathroom with my eyes half closed, it didn't look too bad. There were new defined contours on my eyebrow arches, cheeks, jaw, and chin, and my nose, which she had a correction done. And oh heck, I could feel from the familiar ache around my mouth that my lips had been injected, which I hadn't expected. But I wasn't too swollen or even very bruised, and my needling décolletage looked only slightly stung. So her husband came and got her, and she's got antibiotics because of the liposuction, compression socks because of the anesthetic, painkillers which she didn't need, and instructions to wear compressed shorts until the bruising receded, and use only a very plain moisturizer on her face for the next day. Just some more of the things that happened. There were tiny track marks all over my face from the spiky roller used to get the final dose of SPF into the surface of my skin. The bruising minimal and swelling moderate crept in over the next 48 hours and receded over the course of 3 weeks. There was no pain as such, but my face was very stiff and achy. On the second day after treatment, back at work, I had to plead with my colleagues not to laugh at me because it hurt to try and smile, and she was interested in what they think. And overall, she got some very positive responses. We're going to skip along the article. By my checkup with Mr. Teriyaki 10 days later, I felt far more human. My jaw and chin were still swollen, which is normal, and he was pleased with the result. The great thing is, he said, the result will go on improving for at least a year. Everyone thinks adding something to the face, such as the fat, will make it look bigger. But because it is moving the tissues outwards and supporting the facial ligaments, it will make it look sharper. I can see what he means. Building up my brow bone has moved the whole thing upwards and outwards, rather than as Botox or a brow lift would do. Simply moving my brow skyward, adding volume to my chin and jaw as well as my cheeks, steadily tightens skin over my face. It's like reinflating my defining features from the inside. Well, that's pretty cool. My Instagram followers thought the procedure looked like a hell of a big deal at a high price to pay for at £7,000 for a relatively small change, which is fair. But what do they expect? That I would look 25 again or morph into Claudia Schiffer? That wasn't what I was after. I just wanted to look like myself, but much fresher, which is very much the result I got. And I completely agree with her. Looking like yourself and much fresher. That's a natural way, a natural beauty. And with psychotronic generators and the complete aging healing kit, you can improve your body from the inside out. Now we'll get into that in a moment. I'll just wrap up and say thank you to the Daily Mail, and indeed to Alice for writing this article and providing the pictures and information about the procedure that many men and women go through. And although these are treatments, using her terminology, if you went through surgery, it'd be far, far more invasive. And you're just treating small things or particular issues. So with the complete healing service, you get 4 products. You get your Defeat Aging Crystals. So you can go through all the procedures that Tim Tony Stark Rifat describes in his anti-aging video series. You get access to the Sublime Good Iron Man suit, so you can pop into the Iron Man suit and start your healing procedures. We did a video about that. We'll do more about that as well. And then you get your bioplasm psychotronic generator. Bioplasm is energy that your body is radiating, and is a energy force within you. So you get a bioplasmic generator. Then you get your soul fluid psychotronic generator. So you're accumulating vast amounts of soul fluid. And then you get your psychic scalpel. Your psychic scalpel is where you can go in, you can find dead cells or cells which are not performing to task, and remove them so that you just have your healthy cells left. You can go after fat cells, cancerous cells, defunct cells. Get rid of them so your body's not supporting them, and those cells aren't broadcasting unhealthy messages to the rest of your cells. So you want to get rid of them, because an unhealthy cell has its signals multiplied a billionfold as the healthy ones, but you want all the healthy ones sending out the healthy signal. You don't want bad cells sending out bad signals. So psychic scalpel removes the bad cells for you. So very important. And that comes as a package. You'll see it on the website at supernaturalspirit.org. So thank you for joining us on this episode. Slightly longer, but really the purpose of the video is to demonstrate that yes, we all want to be young and healthy, and people will go to extraordinary lengths to be young and healthy, and they'll go to some lengths to be young and healthy. We do what we can, but you can do it in a very healthy way with the psychotronic generators from Tim Tony Stark Rifat, without all the trauma or planning or general anesthesia and all the drugs that you need to do some of these other look good procedures. It's all very clean and easy with psychotronic generators from Tim Tony Stark Rifat. So thanks again. I'm St. Nicholas. Bye for now. Hello, I'm St. Nicholas, and you've been watching supernaturalspirit.org, the home of the Supernatural Spirit Magic Kit, and the location to learn everything you need to know about magic, all constructed by the obsessionist Tim Tony Stark Rifat. Learn magic, learn power, learn total freedom with Tim Tony Stark Rifat and his supernatural.org magic school system. Bye for now.